Hello students, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jagdeep. This video series is on demand analysis. In our previous video, we talked about the law of demand. This video shall focus upon exceptions to the law of demand. So without wasting any time further, let's get started. For all those students who are coming upon this video for the first time, you need to be aware about the law of demand first. So please watch the law of demand first and then come here, because whatever I'm going to talk about in this video would not make sense to you if you don't know what the law of demand is. The link for the same would be available in the description box. The first exception is called Veblen effect. Now Veblen effect is a phenomenon observed by Thorstein Veblen in 1899, and he kind of made this reference in his book. According to this phenomena, you would observe this behavior emitted by the rich. Now generally rich would want to stand out from the general masses and they prefer to show their prestige. How would they show their prestige? By buying expensive commodities. So they would prefer to spend a lot of money on ultimate luxuries, and ultimate luxuries are super expensive. That means at higher prices, quantity for these luxurious goods and services is high. The moment when these commodities register a reduction in their price and they feel that okay, even general people can afford these things, they would quit demanding these goods and services. Now if you take a look at the way quantity demanded and price are related, it's direct relationship. This is why it is called as an exception to the law of demand. Why? Because the law of demand states ceteris paribus, when the price falls, quantity demanded should go up, and when the price rises, quantity demanded should fall. But all the exceptions that we are going to study ahead of this would behave in this manner. Alright, so this is Veblen effect. Another exception is necessities. Now necessities are goods and services that you would need for bare survival, and these are commodities where generally a person would not look upon the prices or wait for the prices to fall before he or she could consume it. Say for example, medicines. Now when we talk about medicines, will you wait for the prices to go down before you start consuming it? I'm dead sure the answer is no, right? Because your body or your health wouldn't permit that. So even if the commodities or medicines that you look forward to purchase are pricey, you would still go ahead and purchase them. So again we see there's a direct relationship between the price and quantity demanded for these goods. The next exception is called bandwagon effect. Now bandwagon effect is generally observed among the middle class and it's given by a person called Bandwagon. Alright. Now what does this exception talk about? It says that middle class, majority of the times it is observed that they would want to imitate or copy the living standards of the rich. And when they do that, since rich would buy more of luxuries which are expensive, middle class people imitating their behavior would also end up buying these expensive goods and services, which makes the relationship between price and quantity demanded direct. Now this is an irrational behavior, because rationally we would follow the law of demand, which states when prices go up, quantity demanded should fall. But in this case, since people are imitating the behavior of rich, they end up buying more expensive commodities. Another exception is fashionable goods or trendy goods. Alright, so all those goods who are in the trend are generally expensive, right? So prices are generally high in these cases, whether it is mobile phones or fashion accessories or clothes, they are expensive yet demanded by people. So again we are experiencing a direct relationship between price and quantity demanded. So again it's an exception. Another exception is quality and price. As consumers, we all believe, even I many a times, that if prices are high, quality is also high, and because of this people end up buying these goods and services. So at higher prices we are demanding more of these goods and services. And the opposite also holds true. If we feel that the prices are not that expensive, then there must be something wrong with the quality and they must be cheap, because of which we do not demand these goods. So again we are establishing a direct relationship between price and quantity demanded. hence an exception to the law. The final exception here is giffen goods. Now giffen goods is a very crucial exception to the law of demand. There could be a proper answer for people in the Indian boards to write on giffen goods, whether you're from state boards or whether you're from CBSE or ICSE, you could get a full-fledged question on this. As far as the international boards are concerned, you may have to use these concepts in your 8 markers if you're in IGCSE and 9 or 12 markers if you're in Edexcel. Okay. Giffen goods is a phenomena again observed in the early 19th century by Sir Robert Giffen. And before we study the exception, let's take a look at what giffen goods are. You would generally see these 2 traits or characteristics in a commodity to be categorized as giffen goods. The first thing is it's an inferior good, so it will always vary negatively with income. So these goods have an indirect relationship with income. Another segment is these goods, which we can term as giffen goods, would generally take up a larger proportion of consumers' income. So when these goods become expensive or cheaper, the buying decisions of consumer would completely violate the law of demand. Okay, let's take a look at how it is an exception. So when prices of giffen goods go up, the quantity demanded by people of giffen goods would also go up. Why? Because people may not be able to afford to purchase superior goods anymore. Remember, they take the larger proportion of a consumer's income. So when they become expensive, a consumer's a larger segment of income might go into purchasing of these goods, leaving them with very little amount of money, which they cannot use to buy any superior or luxury goods, right? So they would rather purchase this commodity only, all right? Now, where was this generally observed? In the 19th century or early 19th century as written above, Sir Robert Giffen observed this phenomena amongst the daily wage earners who basically survived on the staple diet of bread and meat. So they did not really have a lot of options. There were not many substitutes in the market, and bread is the giffen good here, whereas meat is a superior good. So if price of bread went up, they could not afford to buy superior goods. The demand for superior goods could not go up because the money that they were spending on bread was huge, and hence they would rather demand more of bread. So you again see there's a positive relationship between price of bread and the quantity demanded of bread. That's how giffen goods would work. From today's perspective, if we want to take a look at a few examples, we could say wheat, which is a superior commodity, and let us say pearl millet. Pearl millet, in India we call it as bajra, which is a giffen good. So this is a superior commodity and this is a giffen good. Okay students, so these are the exceptions to the law of demand. If you find my videos useful, please do like and share my videos, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon for all the notifications whenever I post something on my channel. There are plenty of MCQ questions in the community segment. Please visit there and try and answering those questions depending upon how much you've studied economics. Apart from that, if you are interested in learning these concepts in a smaller duration, you could also follow me on my Instagram channel. I'll see you around in another video. Bye now. Take care.